August 4th, 2025. First things first, let me know your thoughts on today's new episode down below. Hold on. So, nothing too much happened on today's new episode. They just started the process of Finn figuring everything out. He's supposed to confront her on tomorrow's episode. Based on the promo, this is the week that we find out. I don't know if she gonna reveal, everything, but yeah, they supposed to be talking and everything. What did he say? Hold on, y'all. I think she think that he gonna keep it a secret. Tell us, can they keep this between the other girl, please? I said if he wanted to keep it between y'all, he would never confronted you, girl. But yeah, like I said, first thing first, let me know y'all thoughts on today's episode down below. So we're gonna start with Brooke and Reed. So he just standing up there or whatever, and she was like, "What is it?" She was like, "I'm about to meet up with Nick." So he over here to my son, I just wanted to, apologize. I was a jerk after the CEO, situation and everything. And she just standing up there hoping he say something else. And he didn't. He did say he loved her and he'll always love her. But aside from that, he didn't say nothing. Aside from that, he did not say dilly freaking squat. Nick ends up showing up or whatever, and she left with him. She left with him, but they saying once again that there's supposed to be a boat accident. There's supposed to be a boat accident. Reed's supposed to jump in to save her, allegedly. That's what they're saying, y'all. They're saying that she's supposed to fall into the water. They did show a promo where she's on the back of the boat. I think Nick is going to be the one driving, and she's supposed to be at the back of the boat. I'm assuming she's going to fall in, and Reed's supposed to jump in to save her. That's what they're saying, y'all. He's supposed to be hollering out, I don't know if he's going to say Logan or Brooke or what, but he's supposed to call out to her. And they also showed him running, calling her name and stuff like that, trying to stop her. I was like, Taylor, if you could see these folks now. But yeah, what else? Bill was checking on Liam. Finn ends up stopping by. And Finn kept questioning them or whatever. And Bill ended up revealing that he paid $1 million. I think it was when Liam was talking about Reese, Grace's ex-husband. Y'all know the whole baby situation. Hold on. Y'all know everything that happened with the whole baby situation if you was watching back then. Well, if you wasn't, I guess I could tell you. Probably not, because I be getting it wrong too. I'm going to try. Let me see. Grace's ex-husband stole Hope and Liam baby or whatever and gave it to Steffi for, I forgot, how much was it? How much did they give that baby to her for? And she named the baby Phoebe. They found out that Phoebe was actually Beth or whatever. Then they did the whole switcheroo. I think the actual baby passed or something like that. I don't know. But when Finn was talking to Liam and Liam was revealing everything that happened with Reese, he mentioned Reese gambling debts or whatever, and Finn made a face. I said, "Do y'all think that the reason Grace did it is because either Reese was threatening her or something like that, or somebody he owed was threatening her?" Because she was on the phone today's episode. Excuse me. She was on the phone today. It's a new episode, and she was telling somebody not to bother her or her daughters ever again or whatever. And I say, yeah, somebody blackmailing her. That don't make it right, but at the same time, they just have to throw something, all the storyline they could come up with. I said, I told y'all he wasn't dying. I told y'all. I said, he ain't died yet. Hold on. Let me see. Let me go back. I already said Bill chase on Liam. Finn stops by. Grace tells somebody on the phone not to bother her or her daughters ever again. Then she ends up calling. What's her daughter name? Paris. Look, I had to remember. She got 2 daughters, right? Paris and Zoe, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, she was on the phone with Paris saying how much she loved her and stuff like that. So I'm assuming they was being threatened or something. Finn ends up asking if Grace has talked to Liam about, physical therapy, and Liam and Bill just so clueless. They don't know what's going on. They're just happy that he's alive and he not dying no more. That's basically what both of them said. Then Bill gets to the point where he reveals that he paid $1 million. And Finn had more questions. He's like, you paid $1 million? He was like, I would have paid more or whatever just for the sake of saving his son. And I'm ready to see how he's going to react. And I also had another question because I was like, wait a minute though. He fell twice. What was that then? He fell twice. First he fell when him and Bill was into it. Bill left out. He ended up falling. He bumped his head or whatever. He's bleeding. Then he went outside and fell again. So I'm like, what? How did she get to that point? But then they showed the flashback or whatever. So all we know for sure is that he had a brain bleed or whatever. Because Finn went in there and he tried to find it and she deleted it. She deleted all the stuff that happened about his cancer and all the other stuff. I said, girl, you going to jail like the rest of you. Going to jail like your ex-husband. I don't know if he's still in jail or not, but still, you going right to jail too. But let me see. Brooke ends up asking Rich if that's all he came to say. Nick ends up showing up, and that's when she leaves. I already said Bill tells Finn he paid $1 million. Grace ends up deleting Liam medical history. She stopped at the point where he had a brain bleed. That's all the records that they had. I said, Girl. They just be over here sacrificing their license and stuff. Excuse me. I said, you know who behind her who going to jail next? Leak. Other Leak going to jail too. Hold on. Let me see. Eric was on the phone with Donna. He ends up saying how he saw Nick with a ring. Eric be tripping me out. He go, what? He just be what? He just be in shock and stuff. I was like, dude, stop trying to push these people to be together. I don't think he should have got to that point. He should have realized how he acted from the jump before he asked her to move in, before he slept with her, whatever they did when they were upstairs and all that. He shouldn't have had to be convinced by Eric. Well, I don't know if that's what the storyline they going with, but that's what it looked like. It shouldn't have took all that extra stuff. But yeah, like I said, he was on the phone with Donna or whatever, and they both agreed that Ridge needs to find Brooke or whatever, or he needs to find Ridge to let him know what Nick is planning. Let's see. Leon talks about what Reese did. Finn finna find out everything. Eric tells Reese that time is running out. He was like, what do you mean? What do you mean by time is running out? He's like, I saw Nick or whatever. I think he planning on taking her on what he said, a boat ride or something like that. He's like, oh, I know. But I also saw him with a ring. He just standing up there and they already showed him running, trying to find Brooke. I said, Taylor. You should have stayed wherever you was at, girl. Hold on. See, I don't understand. Y'all know what I be saying. I said, I feel like they seen how, when they first aired this storyline or whatever with these folks, when it was Team Brooke and Ridge, or either Team Ridge and what's her name, Taylor or whatever, they seen all the views that it brought in, so they decided to do it every freaking year. Every freaking year. Hold up. I said, I think they just be focused on that, but a lot of us don't want to see that back and forth over and over again once a year. We don't want to see that. Either put him with Ridge, Lord. Put him with Brooke or put him with Taylor. Come on now. Let me see what else. I already said Eric tells Ridge time is running out. Finn starts to make calls, says nothing is there. Hold on. Who he was calling? Finn making calls. Oh, Finn was making calls saying he tried to access Liam records, but nothing's there after Liam's brain bleed. Liam ends up telling Bill he owes him because, he paid $1 million. And he was like, you don't owe me anything. He still feels bad about the whole Luna situation. But Liam ends up saying it's okay because Luna's dead. I said, she ain't no more dead as you was dying. She ain't no more dead as you was dying. Neither one of y'all dead or dying. Neither one of y'all. She gonna wake up eventually. What else? Grace, they showed her thinking about all the lies she done told from the jump when Liam first came in, and her talking about so he had a mask and all this other stuff. I said, Let me see what else. Finn ends up coming at the end of the episode to confront Grace, and he was like, what's going on? He was like, he want answers. And I think the last thing they showed Nick and Brooke, I think they was about to get on the boat or something like that, and then they showed Eric warning Ridge, saying he thinks that Nick is about to propose. And Ridge over here looking all shocked and stuff. I guess he really thought that she wasn't gonna move on. I mean, she hasn't moved on, if we're being honest, because she keep telling him, like, if you tell me, you know what, if you tell me to leave him alone, I'm gonna leave him alone, I'm yours. I might be with him for the day, but I'll be with you tomorrow. Nah. She keep on saying it. So she hasn't moved on. But yeah, but he's supposed to chase and try to find her. They show her on the back of the boat. They show Nick driving. Then you hear like the boat making some type of noise. They saying they're supposed to crash or whatever, and she's supposed to go into the water. Ridge allegedly supposed to jump into the water and save her, and that's how they gonna reconnect. I said, But yeah, that's it. That's all. Let me know your thoughts on this episode down below. Stay tuned for the next review. Until next time, deuces, have a great rest of the day and be safe. I'm finna watch General Hospital now, y'all.